decisions about the watershed. Does anybody here think they know what the watershed might be? Who will be brave and tell me what they think a watershed is? Young lady, yes.
When it rains, they're like aquifers under the ground that collect the rainwater from when the soil gets wet, they'll collect all that water.
Okay, great. I love what you're thinking about, but it sounds like you're thinking about the Edwards Aquifer underneath the ground. Have you guys heard of the Edwards Aquifer?
Yeah.
Yes, okay, it's that giant limestone cave that holds our groundwater. But what a watershed is actually the area of land where water drains off of the land and down into the creeks and rivers. So everybody make their hands up next to me. If our hands were like the land and it rained on our hands, would the rain go up here to my thumbs? No, where would it go? Down to the pinkies, down to the middle. So water would shed off my hand and down to the low area. And that's the same way the watershed works. The land sheds the water off of it, and then it goes into creeks and rivers. Those creeks and rivers meet up with bigger creeks and rivers. Where are the biggest rivers trying to go? The ocean. That's right. Okay, so just to make sure you guys understand that a watershed is an area of land that drains to a creek, river, or stream. When I say watershed, you say land. Ready? Watershed.
Land.
Watershed.
Land.
Watershed.
Land.
Land.
Watershed.
Oh, very good. Okay, let's try another little quiz here. Thumbs up if you think yes. Thumbs down if you think no. If you're not really sure, put your thumbs to the side. Do you think that your elementary school is on the watershed? Yes? No? I'm not sure. What do you think? Show me your thumbs. I see some yeses. I see some I'm not sure. Are we on land? Yes. And if we're on land, we are on the watershed. Okay, so what about where you live? What about where you stay? Is it on the watershed, not on the watershed, or you're still not sure? What do you guys think? Yes, okay, everybody here lives on land, right?
No.
Okay, so then we all live on the watershed. And to show you guys all the watersheds in Austin, I brought this great map. This is a map of Austin. It looks a little different from the other maps you might have seen. It doesn't have the city and the streets. What this is all of the watersheds. And each one of these colors is like what we did with our hands, where the water collects in the low-lying area. So the water that falls on the land goes into the creeks go into bigger creeks, the biggest creeks go down to rivers and the lakes and things like that. Let's see if I can find your elementary school. There it is, Gullet Elementary School, right here in this big orange watershed called the Johnson Creek Watershed. A watershed is named after the big creek that all the little creeks flow into. All right, it also looks like you guys are right next to this other design on my map. This is a design that symbolizes the Edwards Aquifer Recharge Zone. You guys all said you already know what the Edwards Aquifer is, but water can only get in there one way, and that's if it rains or the water ends up on this recharge zone. And the recharge zone is made up of some very cool rocks. Does anybody know what kind of rock this is? Young man.
Limestone.
Limestone, that's right. And I can see this limestone is full of holes and pores, and it's only full of holes and pores like this when it's in the recharge zone. It's called karstic limestone. And you can imagine as the rain falls on the ground over the recharge zone, that water would go straight through these holes and then into the bigger caves and tunnels inside the Edwards Aquifer below. I'm going to pass this around. I think it's important for junior scientists to have a look at things, observe them, use your eyes, your ears, your nose. Do I want you to taste it?
No.
No. Too many dirty hands. Okay, on the back of my map, I have another picture of the recharge zone and how it works. If we were in the watershed, this big puddle up here would actually go off the land and into a creek. But when we're in the recharge zone, that water finds its way into great big holes like the one in that limestone and down under into the ground. When it gets underground, it moves through those big caves and aquifers. How many of you guys have ever been in a cave before? Oh, did you guys take a field trip there?
Yeah.
Maybe Natural Bridge Caverns or Interspace? So you saw the cool stalactites and the stalagmites. Did anybody get dripped on?
I did.
Cave kisses, right?
Except
Except science, they say cave kisses are good luck, but really, cave kisses are evidence to scientists that water from the surface has made an incredible journey into the underground. As that water drips through, it leaves behind deposits of minerals that make these cool formations. Well, just like water can go into the recharge of the Edwards Aquifer, water can also come out. It's the opposite of recharge. It's called discharge, okay? Can anybody think of a place in or around Austin where water from the aquifer bubbles up to the surface, maybe fills up one of our favorite swimming holes? Young lady, what do you think? Very good. Barton Springs. Anywhere the aquifer discharges water is where we have spruce. Okay, one last thing I'd like to point out on my map. What's this great big blue feature that runs through the middle of Austin?
Oh, lake.
Oh, it is a river, and there are lakes in this river. Does anybody know the name of this river? The Colorado River. That's exactly right. And we've dammed it up in a few areas, and we've got Lake Travis, Lake Austin, Lady Bird Lake. Do you all know where we get our drinking water? What do you guys think? Edwards Aquifer is a great idea, but actually in Austin, only about 20% of us get our water from the aquifer. The rest of us get it from another place. Where do you think?
Lady Bird Lake.
Lady Bird Lake and the Colorado River. That's exactly right. Well, we don't just drink it straight out of the river, do we? No, we clean it and we process it. But it takes us a lot of time and energy and money to clean and process that water. So one of the things I'm here today to talk to you guys about are the 5 major types of pollution that can get into our water from the watershed, from the land. Okay, so to do this today, instead of just talking to you guys for the next hour, I thought it would be best to let you guys do a series of hands-on science experiments. Would you like to do that?
Yes.
You have to agree to 3 rules. Number 1, you have to show me your best respect, which means if I'm talking, what are you doing? Listening or not talking. Very good. Do you agree to rule number 1?
Yes.
Great. Rule number 2. I need you guys to show each other your best respect and be very polite when you're working with a group of other scientists. Do you agree to rule number 2?
Yes.
Okay, and then finally, rule number 3, I brought some very expensive, very important scientific equipment for you guys to use for your experiments today. And you all have to show my equipment your best respect. Do you agree to rule number 3?
Yes.
Officially, you are all now junior scientists, okay? Junior scientists, for our first activity today, we're going to be drawing a diagram. Here at everybody's table, you have a box. Inside the box, there's paper, there's pencils, and there's things that are blue. Everybody needs one of all 3. A paper, a regular pencil, and something blue to draw with. Take this. Paper.